Hello, welcome to my channel. So something I wanted to kind of bring up and talk about that I've experienced during my ascension is the toxic positive programming that entered our society right around the same time that the fascism entered our society, or is trying to re-enter our society. Not that we've ever had, well, I don't know. America is a really confusing place. So the narcissistic abuse upticked at the same time. The mental manipulation, gaslighting, just rampant narcissistic abuse has been going on, and it's really upticked. And for me personally, and for other people that I've witnessed and lived around in the last 5 years, especially. And at the same time, well, really, it's the last 10 years, but at the same time as that was happening, the feminine awakening was also happening. And then at the same time, we were being undermined, manipulated, and distorted by men who were projecting a top-down version of positivity with not there. And every single time I run into someone that's trying to do this to me, what they're trying to actually do is demonize me. What they're trying to actually do is exploit any sort of negative emotion I have and magnify that. And it's always in a group. It's always around other people, because what they're trying to do is make you small. And it especially started to happen to me after I had my awakening and was speaking my truth, and I was not hiding my awakening. You cannot hide an awakening. It is a very extreme thing and a very extreme change that happens to you. So at the same time, we had Donald Trump come into office the first time. And it was very obvious to me at that point in time that we were being programmed by our oppressors so we would not fight back. And at this point in time, in our society, in our history, that has become even more clear. I see the programming in the spiritual collective, and it is not programming of the empowerment of the human civilization. These are mental programs of our oppressors to stop us from fighting back. And this programming has absolutely helped them to gain power and control over the masses, and especially the awakened collective, because the awakened collective are really their biggest threat. The biggest threat to the war machine and the capitalist system are awakened individuals who can care for themselves, live off the land, and live sustainably in an empowered fashion. That is a threat to them, because you cannot control someone like that. But you can control someone through standards, especially social behavioral standards. And these standards are how you control an entire civilization when you are moving to install a system of control. Like we see social ranking in China and other countries. That is now here as well. That's why people are shadow banned on Facebook. If you say the wrong thing, if you're too negative, you're too angry, if you stand up, you are shadow banned. If you are spreading truth, you are shadow banned. They only want superficial, toxic, positive, absolutely self-controlled beings, because those absolutely self-controlled beings will never turn on them. And I don't say this to ever incite any sort of anything negative. I'm saying this to empower people and free their minds from this, because this toxic positivity programming has had people judging themselves and feeling incredibly guilty and ashamed of their own natural rage, oftentimes rage which is incurred by these narcissistic abusers and manipulators. We are being programmed by our oppressors. And I really, really need people to understand this in a more open-minded fashion. Your instant reaction, whatever it is, if you think that I'm trying to push people into negativity, that's you. That's something you need to deal with. That's in your mind. This is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we can never have a civilization of people who are too afraid to stand up for what is right. That will only lead to absolute ruin and devolution of our society. I love you all incredibly much, and I hope that you feel me on this. I hope you're following me. And please leave a comment. Please let me know what you think. If you feel similarly, if you disagree, I would love to talk about it. Because it's not that I think positivity or joy or happiness is wrong at all. We absolutely need these things. And we absolutely do need to be able to put ourselves more in the direction of positivity so we can have more joy and happiness. But that absolutely does not mean that you cannot feel angry, that you cannot feel rage, and that you can't defend yourself or stand up for yourself. You are allowed to be angry when you speak, and if someone cannot accept that, then that's a trigger of theirs as well. It's not just totally on you, but that's the way that these manipulative energies have been operating. So I want to put this out there, and I love you very much.